Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this one in. What is good? What is good? What is good? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. A video I've been waiting to put out for a long time. Actually, a long time. Now, my channel is definitely one that I like to consider one to be all-inclusive. You know, I don't really try to alienate anybody outside of the content. As long as it can be beneficial to you, I definitely want to make sure that you can comprehend, digest, analyze, and utilize whatever topics of conversation I cover or whatever information I'm putting out there. I want to make sure that it's useful to everybody involved. And even in this particular video, I still believe that that particular talking point or that particular result after you watch the video can still be attained. But I want to talk to my African-American brethren real quick. All right, this is a video that when I'm thinking about it or as my thoughts are coming to light, I have you guys in the forefront of my mind. As you guys know, I am as black can be, guys. I'm on the darker end of the spectrum, so I couldn't be any other race whether I wanted to. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't want to. Okay. And what I've noticed about growing up in the African-American community and growing up as a black man, we're not used to being treated well at all. Okay. Many of you guys are very familiar with the acronym. And it's not even an acronym. Yeah, acronym, I think. ABM. You guys know what ABM is. And probably even before I tell you what it means, you probably know what it is, especially if you're black, what that particular term or the abbreviation stands for. But some of y'all think it's all about money or all about money, but no, that particular term from my perspective is angry black man. And because we come from a community where I think that individuals who are my complexion, we're not used to being treated well, we tend to have a chip on our shoulders. We always tend to be on edge. And I think that's just the way that we were raised, because if you think about it, society has not been that good to us. Now, before I get into it, guys, I'm not going to make this about political and societal upbringings. I just want to make that particular point before I get to where I'm going. OK, so just stick with me on that one. But society has not been, how can I say this? Not so nice to us in general. Now, you can sit there and say, well, if you're not rising up in the world or whatever, it's your own fault, shit like that. You're gonna have people have that talking point. Okay, all right, whatever the fuck you say. I'm not really listening to that right now. But overall, if you look at the types of men who should be progressing the most but are not as a society, that would be my fellow brethren. Now, like I said, there's so many different reasons, as you can say, talking points you can use, but I want to focus on the idea of the fact that we as black men are not necessarily used to being treated well. So when you do find somebody that does treat you well, we ain't used to it. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're just not used to it. Like, I could tell you, coming from our background, most of us are just used to dealing with relationships where we're always arguing or always debating or always, you know, at conflict with our significant others. So whenever you do find a young lady that does treat you good, that does treat you pretty right, we just don't know how to act. All right. Now, I had a conversation with one of my brothers a couple days ago, and he was telling me about his newfound relationship with a Filipina, of course. And he was like, man, she does all of this for me. She cooks for me. She cleans for me. Tops me off in the morning, breakfast in bed, head in bed. I mean, you name it. Baby girl was really putting in that work. And he really just didn't know how to respond to it because he's just not used to that type of behavior with the women that he's dating. Now, again, although this particular situation deals with Filipino women, this actually can apply to just about any woman in any part of the world. It's just how willing these women are able to be submissive to you. Okay. So he just happened to be talking about a Filipino, and he was like, man, I'm just not, I mean, I don't know how to act. Like, I think, I think what he did one time that really threw me off, but I understood it when it happened, was I think one day baby girl did something. I think he said something to the effect of, They had just finished, you know, getting it in and, you know, being intimate with one another. And she rolled over and said, baby, you want me to cook you something, or you want something? And he's like, yeah, just, you know, whatever. He just spat off some shit. And it was something that they didn't have at the house. She got up, put her clothes on, went to the Sorry store, like a near convenience store, picked up everything that she needed, came back home, cooked the meal, and everything was done within like a 30-minute time frame. He wasn't asking for anything complex, but it was just a simple fact that they had just finished getting it in. Baby girl woke up, got dressed, got food, came back, cooked it, and delivered it to this man while he was in the bed. Now, when this particular situation happened, I can honestly tell you that type of treatment is not normal for us. That type of treatment is not something that we are used to. Like I was saying, because we're not used to it, guys, we just don't know how to act. So my man found himself in a position where he was tricking off tremendously. Now, in fairness, there were two thoughts that came in my mind. I said, man, were you putting it down enough to where baby girl was just as tired as you? She jumped up and got out of the bed and did all that for you. But then again, when I thought about it, he was telling me all the things that he was doing for her. He was like, man, he's like, I'm buying her all kinds of shit. I'm damn near buying whatever she wants and everything like that. And I was like, I mean, in fairness, if baby girl is providing you the value that you feel that you need in your life, it's hard for me to see anything wrong with it, as long as the currency is what we would consider to be fair exchange. That's not always the case, though. Some of us, because of our inability to accept the fact that we can be in a situation where a woman can love us and take care of us in that particular manner, more specifically my fellow brethren, it's hard for us to be able to figure out what we are doing wrong when we are doing it wrong. So my man was, like I said, he was buying her all kinds of things and doing all of those things for her. And, you know, she was excited. And, you know, basically the more he bought, the more she did. Now, in fairness, you know, we don't come from money like that. You know, some of us are just stimulus check pimping, as I told you guys in the last video. Some of us, we just got that stimulus check pimping. But you know, even though some of us do come from means, or some of us do have money, or some of us do have access to money when needed, I felt like the way he was tricking out was just a little above and beyond. And he just wasn't able to comprehend the fact that women abroad, or even local to some extent, are willing to treat you the exact same way. You just have to find the one that's willing to do it, or the one that's willing to be along with your same accord. Is that going to always be easy? No. Are you going to sometimes have to train them to be in accordance with what you got going on? Yes. But in most situations, especially dealing with women abroad, most of them are ready and willing to be willing participants in whatever you need them to do. But again, coming from our community, that's just something that we are used to. And I promise you this, if you're not used to it, you're going to spend a lot of money. Okay. Luckily for me, I was broke when I was experiencing this, so I didn't have a lot of anything to give. But I'm telling you, them Jollibee meals, man, them 50 peso Jollibee meals on the regular, that shit used to hit, and it used to pass when your boy was in college. I mean, it used to work it. You know, them Chicken Joy meals used to hit, man. Them Jollibee burger steaks used to hit. You know what I'm saying? And girls used to just love that shit. Just take them, treat them something nice. Because again, back in that day, you know, all they were used to doing was eating, you know, the canned dairy foods and, you know, some fish and shit, whatever mom cooks at home. So when you give them something different, that was exciting. Again, not being disrespectful. That was just what I was able to get away with. But now that women are a little bit more educated on the game, a little bit more insightful on how foreigners feel about Filipinas, which we really need to dig deep into and try to change the narrative, because I'm telling you, they are going to start doing some extra shit if you're not prepared. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They kind of know where foreigners stand on their ideas about Filipinas. I can honestly say that I have contributed to that fact, but I've tried to be as fair as I possibly can in reference to the idea that you don't let that stuff get to your head. But let's be honest, a lot of y'all still let it get to your heads, okay? But I just wanted to just have this conversation, guys. Just because a woman's treating you right, you're not used to being treated right, you don't have to trick the hell out, okay? That's really what my talking point is in this video. I want you to scale back and I want you to analyze your situation. Things could be going fantastically well, and I pray that they do go fantastically well for you. But what I will say is this, gentlemen, analyze your situations. Understand that just because you're being treated right, honestly, it's what you deserve. As long as you're playing your part, you deserve that shit. And always remember, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to pay to be treated right. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of feel like that's what you're doing when you're tricking out because a girl is doing these things. This is what you deserve as a man. You deserve to be treated with some respect. You deserve to be treated with some love. You deserve to be loved the way that you would love somebody back. And you damn sure deserve to be given the same amount of, you know, equal respect and love in your committed relationship, or just a relationship that may be casual. Guys, remember, you always deserve this shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't an asshole or some shit like that, man, you deserve it. So when a girl treats you right, you be like, goddamn right, because I deserve it. Now, again, as long as you play your role, do your part, pimping, I ain't got nothing to say against that. But understand me when I tell you, just because they treat you right, it doesn't always have to come with a price. Just because they treat you right, it does not always have to come with a price. All right? Understand that. And that's what I'm gonna leave you with, guys. It has been fun, it has been real, but it's time for the good doc to go and get to getting. So with that being said, good doc is officially out, at least not go by alarm, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Magita mabuhay. Peace.